Hey you guys, today I am so excited to be starting something. I don't want to say new because decor is very not new here. I feel like you guys kind of know what my house looks like. You kind of know my style. I have definitely done videos centering around certain home things in the past. I certainly did a lot of blog posts in the past when I did my blog, but I want to start doing and incorporating more decor things into my channel because it's something else that I love. And I think that's always been very true to what I do. I've never stuck with one specific thing, even though my channel name I started 10 years ago as Makeup by Tiffany D. It's makeup, and I started that. Well, then I thought, well, I want to talk about handbags. Well, I want to talk about shoes and clothes and fashion and makeup and everything that I love, and then home stuff. And when blogging got kind of big, I guess, like when everyone was like, oh, you need a blog, you know, everyone needs a blog. That was like maybe 8-9 years ago. I started my blog and I started doing really heavy on the decor posts. And blogging was fun, and that was fun, but it was always very secondary to what I did on YouTube. Well, now I feel like it's just funny how things kind of change, but I feel like video and stuff like that is like bigger than ever, and I love it. Like I love sharing things in this way. I think it's much more real. You get a much better representation of what a room looks like. On Instagram, I do share a lot of pictures of my home, and when I did my blog, I was very heavy on the decor posts. So a lot of you guys may be familiar with some things, but that was like years ago. So much has changed. If you followed my channel in the last several years, you've probably seen a lot of like updated things in my home. I can't wait, you guys. I just cannot wait. So today, I thought it would be a good place to start with this room. I don't know, I thought we would just kind of talk and also talk about some basic things that I get asked about the most before we go into this room. One being, okay, first of all, I have a 3-year-old and I have an 80-pound golden retriever. Okay, the golden retriever, he is much more like crazy and much more destructive than the 3-year-old ever could be. But who loves like orangey snacks and all this stuff, you may be looking at this couch behind me thinking, what? This is the biggest question I get. If I ever post a picture of like this room, first of all, this is our living room. It's like a little formal living room area, which I don't even like that word. It's a living room, like a sitting room. We'll talk about that in a second. Then we have a big family room where we have a big, sectional and our TV. We have some space in the basement as well. That's kind of like a living area. That's more like Brad's zone. If you have friends over or something, it's a nice place to be able to go. But I love this room. I love having this. But people ask about this all the time. How can you have white furniture? Your house is so white. I look at this room and I think this is the only white piece of furniture we have in the whole house. An exception of our 2 end chairs and our dining room table. The kid and the dog ain't sitting there, so not a big deal. Those are fine. They're scotch guarded. They're good. But this couch is the most indestructible piece of furniture in the whole house, and actually the piece of furniture that I'm the most comfortable with our dog on. Our child is just all over the place, so who cares? And it's fine, but you learn to clean things really quickly, and you learn very quickly. This just blows my mind. People are so afraid of light colored furniture. I get it. You may think, oh my gosh, if a kid came up and went, with a dirty finger, well, if that piece of furniture is blue or brown, it ain't gonna be any different. You're just gonna have dirty furniture all over your house. Wipe it off, like wet it and wipe it off. But the big thing is that you have to keep in mind that there has to be certain things that you do to it to where you can do that. If you didn't treat it, if you didn't buy certain types of couches, we'll get into that. White furniture, to me, I love it. You can wash it if it's slip covered, which this is. Don't think of like typical sheet slip covers. A piece of furniture is slip covered if you can unzip the pieces of like cushion, and then if I take all the cushions off, the whole frame comes off, or the whole cover of the frame. That is the most like unprecious piece of furniture we have. When people say, oh, everything's so white, I'm like, it's really not. Everything in my house is very like flax color, this type of upholstery, like this type of thing, which is literally dirt color, doesn't show anything. And if you are smart, when you first get them home, things that like are like this, where like this is not slip covered, it's upholstered, so you can't remove that to wash it. I can unzip the cushions and the seat. I'll show you guys these chairs in a minute. They're amazing. You need to take this type of stuff out when you first get it and scotch guard it, spray it down that way. You can literally just wet a rag, wipe it off. This is the similar kind of, well, it's a little more nubby. I guess it would be like that. I'll show you guys later our dining chairs that are in our kitchen and our dining room. They're like that linen flaxy color, and every day Olivia spills strawberry yogurt on them or something, or ketchup. Ketchup is the big one. And you just wipe it off and it's fine. And they look brand new. So everything in our house is very not precious. People look and say, whoa, everything's light. Well, I get more freaked out about dark stuff. Our dark floors are the dirtiest looking things in our house on a daily basis. I would rather have something that I can wash. That couch is about due for a wash. It's looking a little not dingy, but I don't know, I feel like I need to freshen it up. Waylon gets on that couch all the time. Occasionally I'll look, there'll be like a orange, you know, puppy print, or she's not a puppy, he's 80 pounds. Big dog print, just take off the piece that's dirty and wash it. I feel like you couldn't really do that with a darker colored piece. It would probably fade over time. I don't know, that's just what I like. Our family room sectional is made out of this color, like a Belgian linen, and it's totally slip covered too. So I think when I described that in a recent Instagram post, I was telling people, well, that's slip covered, and they were like, I would have never thought that was slip covered. And I'm thinking, I think people are thinking slip covered is like those sheet looking slip covers that you buy separately, which probably 90% of the couches you've seen, and probably the ones that you have in your house right now, are technically slip covered and you don't even know it. So I think that's really important. If you're gonna buy a big piece of furniture, buy something slip covered. And when you buy something that's this color, this flax color, it kind of gives you the look of lighter upholstery or lighter, you know, lighter look, but it's not white. I just want to be real about like how lived in our stuff is. When people say, oh, it doesn't look like y'all, we've got toys everywhere. I have shown you guys before how like our entire family room, our built-ins are just storage for toys. If you look over the side of our, like when you come into our house and you walk behind the, you know, come in, you look at through, it looks perfectly fine. When you go on the other side, our family room at all times is just solid toys. And I love that. And I think that's what makes the house homey. Her room is just toys all the time. I'll show you guys her room set up in an upcoming video, because I have posted some pictures of it on my Instagram lately and you guys have asked some questions, and I'm excited to kind of share some things with you guys about her room too. So we'll do that one in an upcoming one. But I just hope that you pick up some tips as we go about like little things like that. And something else, people ask about my style and stuff, or people ask about paint colors a lot. I'll just be honest with you guys, I like light walls. If people say, oh, I need color, well, I love color. I have light colors. I love to do it in just sort of a different way. I think that's what feels good to me. You know, I have like watery blues in a lot of places. Her room, while it looks very neutral and white and pretty, has a lot of pinks and a lot of like soft colors, and she's got her toy nook that has a bunch of fun things. But yeah, I don't set out and say, I gotta decorate with color. I think that's too easy. I think that's not what I like. First of all, I don't think, oh, I crave all this color. You might. If you feel like maybe you're feeling a little hectic or like out of control in your house or something, maybe think, well, is it because I just thought I had to paint everything blue and red and green, and you know what I'm saying? Or I had to have a room that was themed around a certain color. I mean, why? For me, I feel like I can put any color I want in my house. I feel like my house is more versatile, because like if I wanted to go lavender tomorrow in here, I could put some lavender in here, and I don't have to change the things that are the most expensive. I say get the big pieces that are like your anchor pieces in a room, things that I guess are more versatile, I guess. And you know, if you want a room that's very blue, well maybe, yeah, like lacquer the whole room that color, like do the trim and everything, like do something really cool and unexpected. I don't really like to do the typical, which I think is so typical, like let's paint the room blue because I need some blue, and then leave all the trim white, and then what do you put in the room after that? Just some like blue printed things, and it's like, okay, well here it is. Like I like to be able to think, well I can do whatever I want in here, you know, and I personally like a very muted, very limited color palette. I like very just calm stuff. Come here, buddy. Come here. Waylon's wanting to come in here. He's afraid to step over the thing. Yeah, speaking of limited color palette, here's my dog. He matches. No, I'm joking. He's looking like, should I get up on this couch? It's like I really want to. You can get up there. You can get up on the couch. He's always like in the background doing funny things whenever I'm in here, because this is his favorite spot, because the front door is through there and he can like see out these big windows. He's hilarious. But yeah, so that's kind of my style. Like I like doing, like you can see these walls are not white. They're kind of like a neutral color, which it is, what color is it? It's Clay Beige by Benjamin Moore. I also love Edgecomb Gray, which is in our guest bedroom, which we're doing another room in that color soon. But I like doing just a solid like white in a color that almost like matches your trim, just painting everything the same color in a room that doesn't have much furniture and that has a lot of trim. So think like a foyer. And the reason why is because I think like white rooms you have to be careful with, especially if you like white accents. That particular piece of wall decor would look very dingy against a white wall, in my opinion. I think it looks more white and pretty against that, because it's not a solid white. That white pasted painted furniture looks a little dirty against a solid white wall because it's not stark white. you know what I mean? That couch would just get lost. So I think that in a room where you wanna go white or you wanna go like very light and muted, do a color on your wall that's a little off, not too tan. This is the perfect color. It looks gray in a lot of spaces where I have it. It kind of changes color. It's really pretty. But then like in a room where you're gonna have like a lot of molding or there's like a lot of interest on the walls, like in a foyer, like where there's a lot of like stairs and a lot of woodwork, that's gonna be painted white as well. I say go solid white, and we're about to do something really cool in our foyer coming up. And then in our family room where we have like the shiplap type of molding and all that, that's all white, which I think is really pretty too. Even though we have like some white accents in there, I painted the backs of our bookshelves this color so that the white stuff would pop against it and it wouldn't look boring. So that's something to kind of keep in mind if you go into a house and you're like, oh, I just want to do white everything. Well, if you are, and that's because you love white, keep in mind that if you've got a lot of white pieces, it may kind of not vibe the way you want, but that might be your style. I personally, that wouldn't work for me because I like a more like traditional look. I like to have wood tones mixed in with white. I think that's so important if you do like light colors like me. I like to have wood tones. I love all this like lime oak looking stuff. I've got a really pretty piece right here, which I moved my desk, which is kind of fun. But yeah, when you ask, and people have asked like what my style is, I don't know. I would say it's a little like the pieces of furniture. I kind of like European inspired stuff, but I really like light colors and I like more of a traditional look. I don't like to go too, I think if you do a house and say, oh, my style's farmhouse, well that's gonna, I mean, that can be very dated soon. Do little pieces, mix and match it, you know, or if you like really mid-century modern stuff, like a real sleek look or something that looks, you know, I don't know, that has a certain vibe to that, mix it in with some more like really contemporary stuff and make that kind of fun. So that's just kind of my style. Do you want to look around this room? Let me tell you first of all, so you guys might be a little surprised. So this is our formal living room. I kind of told you earlier how I really do love formal living rooms. I really have gotten used to this one, and we're in here all the time. And that's why I wanted these chairs, because what did we have before? We just had that love seat, which like, you know, me and Brad and Olivia could sit on, but we were just like piled up on it. And I had some ghost chairs in front of these floor to ceiling windows for a while, which are like really pretty windows, but nobody wants to sit on those. You know, they may have looked cool, like you could still see out the window, but at the end of the day, ghost chairs sometimes, while I like them, they just end up feeling a little like plasticky chairs to me, and I always end up just using them like as accent, like in a bedroom, or like putting them under a desk, which I really like. I think they get to be too much when you use them like all around a table, which I used to do that, or in here, I don't know, like I want a cushy place to sit. I don't want to sit in a plastic chair. You know, like if I want to sit in a sitting room, I don't know. This room is used a lot and I wanted to make it comfortable. I used to have my desk here, which was kind of not really like my office-y desk. I have that stuff somewhere else. Brad has his own office, I have my own office space. This was more like a home, just desk that I had at the old house, and I thought, well here, let's put it here. A lot of times you see people in their like front living rooms or their little sitting rooms or formal living rooms do like an office. It never was really used. I didn't sit here a ton and do stuff. It mostly just collected junk, or it had just picture frames on it. And it was just kind of like, what's the point? Because we have one in our kitchen, and it was just kind of like, you know, I don't know, like we don't keep that kind of stuff here. So I was over it. I thought this just needs a change. I want this to be like a pretty sitting room, a nice living room. So here's what we did. I'm so excited. So I moved my light over there. But yeah, I'm in my foyer now, so when you come in here, we'll talk about this later. Yeah, so you go in here, and I put these two chairs here. Now it kind of makes it like, you know, a real sitting room. I didn't want to shove one over in that corner. I thought it would just be too much. There's plenty of room to like access the window. There's tons of room to walk around in here. I need to put that bulletin board somewhere else. It's really pretty, like floor to ceiling windows. I usually don't have as much stuff on the table. Sometimes it's just a candle, sometimes just the wreath, sometimes it's nothing. I like to just kind of mix it up. I'll talk about that in a second. Dining room's open in there. But here's what I did. So I think I'm gonna put that bulletin board in our laundry room. Instead of my desk, I put this piece of furniture, which actually used to be in our dining room on that wall, and I felt like it was just a little too much furniture. I got a new sideboard in there that holds a ton of dishes, and so I didn't need this anymore, and so I thought this was pretty. It added some height in this room. I could put all my pictures in there and just kind of fun stuff. There's my ring light over there that I was filming with. All my stuff on the floor. Gorgeous. But you see what I'm saying? It's like more real. I don't know. when you film like this, but rather than just like taking pretty pictures. But you see the room kind of flows better. I think it's much better. Everyone that's come over is like, oh my gosh, wow, this is so much better. It's like a living room now. Like I feel like there's a place to sit. I feel like it's just easier. I love it. I think these chairs are so comfortable. You see what I mean about like the pillows? You can add anything you want. I feel like I can always change it up and do whatever I want here. I think that it's good, like if you have a really neutral space, to do some mirrors or something that's a little shiny, add a bunch of texture. I love this. It's called a juju hat. I really didn't know anything about these until recently, but this one is actually really pretty. It's not like a fake looking one. This is actually one that was like really handmade, and I'll link to that one. I'll link to everything. I just have like this beaded pillow. You see the couch is all like worked in from Waylon. I really need to kind of wash it and get it a little fluffed up and prettier. But I'll link to some of this stuff. This piece over here I've had since we moved into our last house. So I've probably had it maybe like 7 or 8 years. And it's from the same collection as this, which I just bought. I loved this one so much. And I thought, how pretty would that be? It kind of plays off the X's and the top of our kitchen cabinets. You can kind of see in there. And so I just really love it. You can see on my wall I have like some birds. They're kind of like a little pretty watery blue, which kind of plays off the rug. And these are those chairs I was talking about that are friggin' indestructible. Love them so much. These are not indestructible. No one really sits on those too much. But yeah, I really like those. Light fixture I really love. But anyways, I feel like this room is so much better without all that. I have a little wreath for Easter that I put here, which I think is super cute. I just thought this was such a cool change. I think that it made the room just so much more functional. We want to spend so much more time in here. I love these chairs because like they're good chairs from the back. Do you know what I mean? Like you need some if you're gonna float furniture that are pretty from the back. And you see like if right here there was a big square piece of furniture, it would look closed off. It never feels tight in here, weird. It's so easy. Over here, like when you first come in, I love how that one looks, and my water bottle. Like again, it's not like a big square piece. It has like a roundness to it. This chair though is just so pretty because it's not like overly masculine or feminine. It's not too French looking. It kind of has a modern shape, I feel, like a more contemporary shape. It just made the room, I think, work so much better. I love how I can display all my frames and just like pretty things. And I have like a tea set that was my grandmother's down there, and just a lot of really pretty stuff. I don't know if it'll stay that way, but I just kind of shoved everything in there that was on the desk and a few things that were in the cabinet when it was on the other side. Just kind of for reference, that's the kitchen, and then that's the family room through there. So we don't have a TV in here. I feel like it doesn't really need one. Brad, who like is TV guy, I even said that to him. I was like, should we have put a little cabinet there with a TV? And he was like, no. It's really nice just to have a cool space to just relax. Olivia brings her books in here all the time and toys. There's always stuff in here. I'm really happy with it. I did change my curtains back to my my original ones, which I love these so much more. Let me sit back down so that I'm not just like, it gets to a point where I'm just like walking around talking and you're like, okay, show yourself. Let me see your face. So, but yeah, so I moved I did have curtains that were up there that matched this. They were pretty, they were okay, but I loved them in our guest bedroom better, so I ended up moving them back. These are my original curtains that were in here. When I put them back, I was just like, oh, they're like a white, silky, kind of, I don't know, they're really pretty. And so I put those back. It's just funny, like, it's about how you feel. Like at our old house, I had a room that was bright red. I had like a really chocolate, do you remember the dining room that was like really chocolatey brown? I had a green room. I had a room that was like dark charcoal, and I decorated in like a lot of blues and different, and there were times when I really loved that house, and it was right before we left, and I always loved the house, but I'm saying like it felt right, and I wanted to always kind of do that here, which when we first moved in, I kind of, like I said, trial and error, you always, you change things and whatever, that's how you kind of learn like what you like, and I'm sure I'll change all this a million times too. But that's part of the fun. But no, mark my words, or don't. Because I don't know, I always say that and then I end up changing it. But no, I really, really love how this is. Right now I feel so good about this room, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it today. But But yeah, like I'll say, okay, well, I'm really in like a teal mood, or I really want to do like this blue everywhere, and I'll do it, and then like a couple months later, it'll just start making me itch. Like I'll just be like, oh, I don't like that. Like I want my, and I've realized that it's not the color, it's the fact that like I like to be able to change stuff. That's it right there. I like to be able to change stuff. And if I've got like drapery and an upholstered sofa that's a print or a color or something, or a rug that's like overly crazy, I can't do that, and it makes me feel like, ugh. So I cannot imagine someone like decorating a house in like crazy colors, doing all this stuff, and then just being like, well, what if you want it to be more like neutral the next day? You can't do that. So for me, I feel like if you do this, you kind of go this route. You can go red if you want to, throw some red in, throw some coral in, throw some lavender in, do whatever you want, throw your blue and white pieces in. So I love that, and I think that works for me because I'm the type of person that loves to like evolve and like kind of change stuff. But one thing that I feel like hasn't changed in the last couple years is this whole vibe that I feel like I've gotten really good at recognizing within me. Like I know what to buy. Talking about like, you know, places I like to shop. You'll kind of figure that out as I go. Like I'll talk about some different things, you know, over these like decor videos that we do. But I don't like to say like, oh, my style is just this store, my style is that store. First of all, I really cannot stand that. I don't like to walk into someone's house and be like, oh, this is Z Gallery top to bottom, which I love that. I've got some pieces that are from there that are great. Z Gallery has really good pillows, FYI. A lot of our family room pillows that we have in the basement. That pillow I found at the outlet. Z Gallery has good pillows. It's a good spot to shop, but it's not really my vibe like to do in my whole house. I like more traditional. I like more like of a European kind of look. I like to mix it up, and I think that there's certain stores that have certain things that are good. I love Pier 1 for chairs, for like dining chairs, and like I found these chairs there. I'll link to all of those that I love. I feel like there's just a good mix. I love Ballard for like things like this came from there. Like I got these candlesticks, but I just think you have to mix it and match it to make it work for you. That couch came from, I think, like Rooms to Go, like my very first year living in the old house. I was probably like 9 years old. And then these mirrors that you guys have been seeing a lot lately, okay, those mirrors are so good. I found them at an antique store, found one, I bought it to go kind of in the background like when I film up in my bedroom, and you can see that wall kind of next to our shower, and you can see it right in the background. Well, then I kept telling Brad, look, I know it'll fit behind our tub, like where our faucets come up. I'm like, I know it'll fit there. And he was like, no, it won't. And I was like, I gotta try it there. So he helps me like move it back there because it's kind of hard to lift up, and it works. So then I was like, okay, well then I need another one to go there. So we went back and got another one to go there. Well, then I was like, you know what? It would be, like it's bad. Like when I really love them, okay? They just add so much to the room. I thought, how pretty would they be in here? Like I need some kind of a mirror that doesn't look too ornate, that has like some woodwork, that has a little bit of interest, to add some interest in here. Put it down here, and then I was like, well, now I need two. So I moved the other one from up there because I felt like two was a little too much to have on different walls. This works because it's symmetrical, but like I wouldn't want one like here and then one like randomly over there, and that's kind of how it was in our bathroom. So I moved that one, but I left the one behind the tub. It's really good. So now I have like three, but they're so good, you guys. I was telling you guys about them on Instagram. A lot of y'all were asking about them. I'll kind of link to some other stuff if I can find. I know like my big piece of furniture over here came from like a consignment store. But my whole thing is get what you like, whether it comes from a thrift store, whether it comes from like if you're gonna really invest in something expensive, like my dining table from Restoration Hardware. I love it. I thought, you know, I've really been dreaming about this marble table, you know, and I was like, I really like that. So I'm glad that I got that. Invest in some pieces that you know you're gonna keep if you know it's gonna be something that you'll love, but then find something from a consignment store as well. You know what I'm saying? Like mix it up. Like I don't like to go and just buy the room or like buy a whole, which that might work for you. If you go in and you're like, that is what I want, perfect, there's no rules, do that. But I'm just saying, like, I think for me, part of the fun, and I've learned this over the years, is the hunt and the way your house evolves. Like if I just went and decorated like if I bought another house and I just decorated the whole thing, just went and bought, that wouldn't be as fun as if you were gonna like maybe use some old things. When you find something amazing, use that in the place of something else. So I don't know, I'm not saying, hey, buy what you want, and who cares if it's $5,000, who cares if it's $5. I'm saying you have to have a budget in mind. You have to be smart. Don't just spend crazy money on everything, but don't be afraid to invest in something good like a dining table or a really great sectional, or, you know, redo your kitchen if you feel like it needs it. Like, don't be afraid to invest in things like that, because I think that those things are worth it. But, you know, I just think that you've got to kind of mix it up, and you've got to find things from different places to make your house feel interesting, change things, you know, change things around, move things around. If you think something doesn't look right, don't add something, take something away. And yeah, just kind of have fun with it, you know? I think that's it for today. I really just enjoyed doing this so much. And in the next one, there might be videos where we talk about, you know, the kitchen. There's 3 big major things that are happening that I'm gonna kind of do like a before and after and kind of like show you during. I might do some hauls and like show you where I put things, although I don't really need to shop for anything new in the house, but I might like change some things around. I'll kind of show you the dining room a little more, the kitchen, the family room. The guest bedroom has changed a lot, so I'll show you that soon. My closet has changed a lot. We're doing something new to our bathroom. There's so much to talk about, and not even that, but there's just sometimes I might want to just share with you guys like tips or things like that. So I have got so many videos to do on this subject. I want to do like a Q&A. I was gonna say ask me your questions, and I might do them at the beginning of every video. That might kind of get redundant. So ask me your questions below. We might do like a decor Q&A thing, because I'm not saying like, oh, ask me, I know everything. But I think that would kind of be fun. So we might do like a decor Q&A video. You can ask me questions about my own house, and you can ask me questions maybe if you need some help with something. So I think that would be super fun. So in this video, ask me your questions, and we'll just have a huge like decor chat. Not that this one wasn't, I think it was, and it was super fun, but we'll do it more on your stuff. And I think that would be fun because it'll kind of take us out of the realm of like my own house, which we don't even need to be doing yet because we have so much to cover in here. We have like so many things to talk. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so excited. This is just so much fun. Can you tell I enjoy talking about this? But we can talk about your stuff too. So ask me some questions and I'll kind of get some together. I'll kind of like get a list going, and I'll do one of those too. So thank you guys so much. I will try to link to what I can. I want these to come across as anything else. This is my channel. I'm sharing with you guys something I love. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying, oh, this is perfect, look at this. I just want to take you on my journey and kind of like show you something that I love and that I'm into. I love my house. I love decorating. I think it's so fun. And if you can kind of get into it too, I think it'll make you feel so good. When I really started feeling good about my house and, you know, years ago, just like really having fun decorating, it really made me feel good. It was like a fun hobby, and it was something fun to do, not only for yourself, but for your family. It's just fun to create like such a nice spot. And with all the stores nowadays, you can really get great things at any price point. So yeah, I'll link to what I can. And thank you guys so much. I had the best time with you guys today, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye guys.